Hello, what is up? What's good? Welcome into the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Thursday edition, alongside Stern Bets. I am the Prince of Picks. Got a great show lined up for you guys today. We should be joined by Drew here shortly. And of course, we're going to be covering a lot of action going on in the sports landscape. The World Cup, of course, as we're entering the final match days of the group stage of the World Cup. Got a lot of matches to cover for tomorrow's slate. Of course, we got the major leagues as well. We have the WNBA, and then we've got the Travelers Championship, which we covered yesterday. Thanks to Brian for coming on and giving us his great golf handicapping and opinions on the show yesterday. So a lot to cover today. I am once again joined by Stern. Stern, are you there? Good morning, dude. Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Yes, we are. Hi, how are you doing, buddy? I love it when Brian's on our show. It really is such a special treat to hear him, break down, talk about what we can be expecting. We're looking forward to, watching over a 4-day weekend,
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad that like I said, we were trying to get him on for a while. Our schedules just couldn't align there for a little bit, but finally, looks like we're going to get him on more consistently. And he really is not just a great golf capper, but I really like the way he breaks it down. I've heard a lot of other golf cappers, and for me, sometimes they go too fast, and it's a little bit too confusing for me. I like the way he kind of dumbs it down for those of us who aren't as familiar with golf. I think he does a great job at that, and of course, the man wins. So what can you say?
100%. Yeah, let's look back to tomorrow. Yesterday, though, gotta say, 1-0. Good day. Mariners Pirates, first 3 under 2.5. And I'm happy that I switched from the no-run first innings because, I think I mentioned on the show, anybody can give up a home run in the first. A good pitcher will be good over the first 3 innings fully.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you were spot on with that. Yeah. So for me, to recap my plays here real quick, we hit yet another WNBA parlay. We had the Lynx on the money line with the Sky on the money line. Sky, of course, ended up winning by I think it was 20 plus points, so that one was never in doubt. The Lynx actually were down 10, despite entering the game as a 10-point favorite. They were down 10 in the fourth quarter. I gave out a live play in the VIP channel. We get the Lynx at plus 6.5 with the boost, ended up being around minus 110. The Lynx ended up winning outright, and privately I played a separate bet on that as well. So had a nice cash out on that. Of course, as a show, we cashed out that parlay. And then we also hit Mexico on the money line. Mexico, they don't lose at home when they play at Azteca. Doesn't matter what team they play, A team, B team, C team, doesn't matter. You don't beat Mexico when they play at Azteca, and that turned out to be true again last night. 3-0 win over Czechia. So we hit that one. So we went 2-2 overall. We did miss on Scotland plus 1.5. They did get blown out by Brazil. Unfortunately for that one, Scottish are in trouble here. We'll see if they're going to make it to the knockout stages. Then we missed on Philly's first 3. Team total over 1.5. They got shut up, but they scored in the fourth. And it's funny because I was almost looking at the first 5 over 2.5, which would have hit because they hit 3 runs in the fourth. But in any case, 2-2 overall for the show picks yesterday.
Yeah, not bad. Those the WNBA play I thought was funny because the team that was roughly I think it was minus 140 favorite blew out the other team, and the team that was you said a 10-point favorite struggled.
Yeah, Portland's just awful on the road, so I'm glad we were on the right side of that one. Even though the Sky were coming off of 6 straight losses, that just felt like a really good bounce back spot for them against a Portland team that is again projected to be the worst team in the league. So I think there's something to that.
Well done. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have in the WNBA today. I did get a preview, and I did have a few boosts, so I may have put a little bit too much on today's bets, but I'm excited to see what we're going for. Where do you want to go first, buddy?
Yeah, so let's. You want to start in baseball? We can start off in baseball.
Yeah, sure. I can lead it off there.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got? Yep. Well done. Yeah, go ahead. What do you got for us on the ballparks today?
All right. So I'm a Yankee fan. I live in Philadelphia. I'm actually currently headed to New York, and I just like everything about the Yankees and the Phillies today. So I'm taking. Putting about 1.5 units on each of these games. Yankees first 3 money line minus 150 is my first bet here. And I really just couldn't resist. It's Cam Schlittler. He's playing against the Red Sox, who are really losing any hope of getting into the playoffs right now. They're facing off against Connolly early. who is starting for Boston, and he's been all right, and he has a lot of promise. He's a young little budding star, but his underlying metrics are underwhelming. He has a 10.8% barrel rate, 41.5% hard hit rate, and really just an average 22.5% strikeout rate. He also pitches worse in Fenway with a home ERA of 4.82, and he already faced the Yankees where he gave up 3 runs over just 5.1 innings. Schlittler, for comparison, has a road ERA of 1.12. Faced the Red Sox twice already this season, going 13.2 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs. Fantastic metrics are amazing. We've talked about Schlittler a lot this season. Red Sox, their offense is stuck 28th in runs scored in the league. Granted, their bullpen's doing better right now than the Yankees, but I just think that the Yankees are just such a better team right now overall. The last piece, and the reason why I'm targeting the first 3 innings instead of the first 5 or first 7 or the full game run line, which I also all like for the record. Early has opponents hitting 303 with an OPS of 899 the first time around the order. Schlittler has opponents hitting 176 with an OPS of 447. So this isn't even a contest for me. Absolutely love the Yankees today. I'm also going to take them in a parlay, Yankees money line with the Phillies money line, because I linked backing Christopher Sanchez even on the road. 323 on the road, which is a far cry, but his overall ERA for the season is 1.80. His metrics are elite: 28.5% strikeout rate to a 4.7 walk rate, and combine that with a 57% ground ball rate, and I think it kind of outweighs the average barrel rate and average hard hit rate. Washington is one of the better teams. We talked about it yesterday, specifically when we just cashed on them. But their pen is absolutely atrocious. They are ranked last in the last month in every underlying metric in the bullpen possible, while the Phillies are actually ranked first. So I like this Phillies Yankees money line parlay, and then I'm also playing the Phillies -1.5 at -105. All right, yeah, that was a lot. What do you got
Yeah,
for that one?
yeah. No, I'm glad to see that you're on the Yankees. Because full disclosure, when I was looking at today's slate, that was the one game that I had my eye on. That's going to be the play that I'll give out here. I'll give it out here after you give out your plays, and we'll get to Drew here in a second. But that was the one game I looked at. So then when I saw that you gave out your plays, I was like, it made me feel a lot better about my pick that you're also on this game as well. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Again, I'll get into my pick here shortly. But I'm with you. I think the Yankees are in a great spot today. And the Phillies, what can you say? You were on it a long time ago, a few weeks ago. You called it. I remember you talking about it, that they're going to get hot here in a little bit, and they have done that, exactly that. So well done to you, Mr. Aristotle. Maybe I should start calling you that.
I really wish that I put a little bit on the Phillies to make the playoffs, or to have like over like 80 wins or 75 wins or whatever it was, because I had the take, but I forgot to put the bet next to it. And by the way, just to recap the best bets here, because I don't think I put the juice or the prices on. I'm putting a full unit on the Yankees first 3 money line -150. A full unit on the -1.5 for the Phillies on the run line, and a half a unit on the parlay Yankees money line, Phillies money line at +161 over on FanDuel.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let me bring in Drew. Drew, good morning, dude. Can you hear me? Are you with us? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you as
Awesome.
well.
Cool, cool. Perfect. All right. So what do you got for us? Anything for the major leagues today in baseball? We got a decent slate today. Anything catch your attention here in terms of any plays that you got for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the St. Louis Diamondbacks game. The weather there, it's gonna be like 85 degrees, high humid Midwest weather over the summer. That I used to kind of live with when I was in, Kansas. 85 degrees, high humidity, chance of rain, and I usually like to target. If you notice my trend here, that I like doing under and pitcher outs because more value. Usually when I do over, it's for aces I can fully trust. I would say yesterday, they left Kyle Freeland for some reason. I don't know what the manager was doing. Maybe he was gambling. He dude had like 11 hits and 6 earned runs, but they somehow kept him in to finish 6 innings. So that is what it is for that. But I like Zach Gallen under 17 and a half outs here. If you look at his last start in general against Minnesota, he pitched like 4 innings, gave up 9 runs. And the start before that, he did have 6 inning pitch, but the previous 4 to 5 starts, he did not complete this. I think I stated this a little while ago. Like the manager's trying to limit him to under 90 pitches now because he even said he's starting to kind of feel the fatigue of being worked, being like a kind of like a workhorse. The previous 3 years of Zach Allen we used to know, and he's had injuries along the way. That's part of the reason is he's had some like elbow injuries and stuff like that. So I like Zach Allen under 70.5 outs. I believe you can get that at minus 165 on Fanatics. I necessarily haven't checked DK, but I'm sure Stern will be able to give the answer. But against a Cardinals team and a chance of rain, by the way, the reason why I say that, it's kind of a cheap way to win. But for example, say he starts and then it starts to rain and then they have to like delay the game. They delay the game. Starting pitchers usually won't come out if it's an hour. People wonder why. Well, if you ever exercise, guys, or do stuff, and you're think about it, you're throwing, or whether you're running a lot, your legs will get very tight, or your arm will get very tight to where you can't come back in. It'll take a while to warm up. So that would be another way we could win.
That is a fantastic point that I would have never thought of. Sharp angle there, dude, for real. I never would. You're 100% right about that. It is, especially for a pitcher. It makes total sense. With a rain delay, that they're not going to come back out after the delay. 100% makes sense. So yeah, great angle there. I love it. Something I'll definitely be thinking of going forward. And of course, you've been crushing with these unders on your pitcher props. So for sure, love it. Stern, any thoughts on that for Drew's play there?
I mean, he's given up 3+ runs in the last 5 games in a row, and the 3+ runs was the lowest in there. If you're looking back, he's given up 9 runs in his last game, 3 runs before that, 4, and then 5. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think this is a fantastic look. He has a 6.98 road ERA. This is, yeah, I'm on board.
And also the heat and
Awesome.
humidity can affect a pitcher too, as well too. Yeah.
Yeah, and the rain angle, like you mentioned, is phenomenal because you're 100% right. They don't like to stop and start.
Awesome. Okay, cool. What else you got for us, Drew? Any other plays in the major leagues?
No, it's only like a 9 game slate. It's kind of crazy in baseball. You can say, "Oh, it's only a 9 game slate and it's a short slate." So I just love that about baseball.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. I'll go ahead and get into my play here real quick. Like I mentioned, the one game that I am on is going to be the Yankees and the Red Sox. Look, I'm going to keep this one simple. We're not going to do a team total or anything like that. I think the Yankees to win this one by margin. I'll take them on a -1.5 run line at plus 109. For all the reasons that Moshe mentioned earlier, I think this is just a mismatch here between two teams going in opposite directions. You're looking at all the metrics here. Yankees, of course, hitting the ball very well right now. The Red Sox a little bit suspect in terms of their bullpen and pitching staff, and I think this could be a smash spot for the Yankees. They have taken 4 out of 5 already against the Red Sox this season, and I can't see any reason why that shouldn't continue again today, this afternoon. So give me the Yankees -1.5 at plus 109. Stern, I know you're on board with this because it's part of your play, so I'm not going to ask you again. But Drew, any thoughts for you on this one? Yankees -1.5.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy because this is literally because we had, of course, the Yankees versus Red Sox. The last time these two, I believe, pitchers, last time these two like played in this matter it was Cam Slitler too versus Connolly Early, and Connolly Early they like struck out like the first 7 or 8 batters, and then the Yankees got more in the flow. I'm looking forward to this matchup again, but I think Connolly. Oh no, it wasn't Connolly Early. It was Peyton Tolley. My bad. I mixed up the rookies in that regard. But Connolly Early. I think he's one of those pitchers that can walk a lot. He can walk a lot of batters, not just walk a lot of batters, but his control can be out the wazoo. Versus Peyton Tolley has really good control. So sorry, I read them wrong. But I really like the Yankees here. This is very favorable hitting weather. I think it's like 80 degrees, 5 miles per hour blowing, like 5 to 6 miles per hour blowing, which isn't a lot towards the Green Monster. I really like the Yankees here. I think that favors Cam Slitler here, and I could see Connolly Early getting literally knocked around a little bit. So
Oh, one last point here in favor of the Yankees. The Red Sox bullpen, while it has been ranked 8th in the last month in underlying metrics and stats, in the last series against Colorado, it epically failed. Epically. Chapman gave up blew a save opportunity. The bullpen is stressed. I really think that the Yankees smash spot.
Awesome. Yep, right there with you. I think all three of us are in line with that. So great. Maybe we'll end up making that a show play here before it's all said and done, and maybe we'll post it on the official Twitter page, make it official for all of us. But yeah, all right. Drew, anything else in baseball before we move on to our next sport?
Nope.
Awesome. Stern, anything else from you for the major leagues?
No, but if anyone has any questions or whatever, I have leans and plays in every game somehow. Again.
Awesome. Yeah, we know we can count on you for that. That's one great thing about you. This is no game goes missed for Mr. Stern's radar. So love it. And look, hey, when you're winning more than you lose, that's always a benefit. So all right, let's go ahead and move on to the WNBA. We do have a decent slate tonight. 3 games on the slate. Of course, we've got the LA Sparks taking on the Toronto Tempo. This one is almost at a pick'em right now. It was at a pick'em this morning. It's now Toronto is -1.5. So a pretty close one to call. We also got the Wings taking on the Las Vegas Aces. And then we have the Liberty taking on the lowly Seattle Storm. I actually do have a play for all 3 games tonight. So here's how we're going to attack this one. First up, we're going to go to the Liberty taking on the Storm here. The total is at 168.5. I'm going to take the under 168.5 between the Liberty and the Storm. When we're looking at Seattle, although they are a putrid 3-15 on the season, they are a decent defensive team. They're top 6 in defensive rating. And so I think unders seem to be a theme here with the Seattle Storm. Their problem is offensively, they just can't score the basketball, which is another reason why I think the under could hit here between these 2 teams. Not to mention New York on the West Coast is just 2-2 on the season when they've had to go out west. So they tend to struggle a little bit, specifically on the offensive side. I don't know if it's the long travel. Of course, that's quite a trip going from New York to Seattle, probably the longest trip that you could make in the WNBA. And so could have a factor into it. But in any case here, I think we're going to see more of a defensive game in this one. I would expect New York to win this one as they are 12.5-point favorites. But for this one, we're just going to play the total. I'm going to take under 168.5 between the Liberty and the Storm. The next one here we're going to go to is going to be between the LA Sparks and the Toronto Tempo. This total is set pretty high here at 179. I think that's about right, but I'm going to take the over. I think we see even more points in this one. We're looking at their previous matches. This has hit in their 2 previous matches already this season between these 2 teams, and I can't see any reason why it won't hit again. Both of these teams are top 3 in pace of play. They love to get up and down the court, and so I think that's going to create tons of volume offensively for both of these teams. I think we're in for another shootout. LA 5-2 on the season on the road, so very good road team here coming into Toronto. And I think we see another shootout in this one. So I will take the over 179.5. Both of these are at -110, by the way. We're going to take the Sparks Tempo over 179.5, -110. Liberty Storm under 168.5, -110. Then my final play of the night for the W is going to be in the 3rd and final game here between the Dallas Wings and the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces come into this one as 5.5-point favorites. 2 teams here towards the top of the league in terms of standings. Dallas 11-6, Vegas 12-5. So pretty comparable in terms of their record right now. But I'm going to go to a head-to-head player prop here. This is something a little bit new. We're going to try it out. I like Paige Becker's head-to-head against Jackie Young -2.5 points. And this comes in at -108. The reason for that being is Dallas is going to heavily rely on Paige Beckers offensively. She's pretty much the straw that stirs the drink here for Dallas when you're talking about their offensive productivity. Whereas Vegas, they have a lot more mouths to feed. They got Asia Wilson. They got some other players on this roster that could potentially eat into those points. And so I like Paige Beckers here to beat Jackie Young by 3+ points. We're going to try this out as a head-to-head play, and that comes in at -108. Stern, I know you're still getting into the W, but any thoughts from you at all on this?
Nope, absolutely love it. I blind tail, and like I said before, I semi-accidentally bet double than I normally do on this slate, on each one of these.
Yeah, double the wagers, double the winnings is the way I look at it. Drew, any thoughts from you on these W plays for tonight?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm wondering for that head-to-head. You said beat him by 3 points. Does that mean if it's like 3+, right? So it's not like a push or any of that thing?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get a push because it's set at 2.5, so it does have to be 3+.
Oh,
So,
3+, so 2.5.
you
Okay,
know,
that's awesome. I like
yeah,
that a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah,
I will
yeah,
say I
yeah.
found this at -1.5 on DK.
Okay, even better. Yeah, of course, guys, shop around. I got this last night, but of course, these lines are pretty fluid and they change a lot. So if you can find a better price, or even if you by chance you can find a whole number, I don't think they give whole numbers on head to heads for push insurance. But if you're able to find one, of course, I'm
Um,
always in favor of taking a play with the push insurance.
I think it was minus 147 with push insurance.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, I'll double check here. And yeah, you guys do the same. And if you guys can find a whole number, definitely play that because, like I said, the push insurance is always a benefit, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead. We're moving on here. We'll move on to the World Cup. We got the World Cup, of course, in action tomorrow. Of course, we already covered today's games on yesterday's show. So let's go to tomorrow's matchups here. Look, I will tell you guys full disclosure here. Tomorrow's matchups are very tricky because they're going to be very reliant on what happens today. Reason for that being is you have a cutoff line for the third place teams that are going to qualify to the knockout stage. Right now, we don't know what that cutoff line is going to be. It could be 3 points, it could be 4 points. We don't know what goal differential is going to get you in. We need to see what happens today and early tomorrow before we really get an idea of where that cutoff line is actually going to be. So, tread lightly in these plays. I found a couple plays here that I think are pretty. How should I say? Doesn't matter really what happens in terms of the other games. These plays are individually sufficient on their own. So what I'm going to look at here is the first one here. I'm looking at Senegal and Iraq. This is a 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff tomorrow. Senegal, actually, both of these teams theoretically are still alive here, but realistically, Senegal is the one that has a realistic chance. They're sitting at 0 points with a -3 goal differential, meaning if they're going to have any chance of potentially getting in as a third place team here, not only are they going to have to win, but they're going to have to win by margin. They're going to need to get that goal differential to around 0, maybe even a +1, in my opinion here. So what that means is here we're likely to see a shootout. I think Iraq in the same situation here, nothing to play for. They're -6 right now, so they would have to beat Senegal by like 5 or 6 goals, which is not very realistic. But in any case, both teams fully incentivized to absolutely go for it in this game, and I think they will. I think you're going to see an end-to-end back-and-forth game. Could be one of the more entertaining games of the group stages. So for that reason, I'm going to take just over 3 here, -125. You could take both teams to score. That is at plus money. Senegal has conceded, I believe, in 13 straight World Cup matches. So getting a goal against Senegal has been a pretty regular theme here. My problem is I worry about Iraq offensively. Of course, I've watched a lot of Middle Eastern soccer. I've seen this Iraqi team quite a bit. They're a little toothless at the front. They rely heavily on Ayman Hussein, who did score their one goal of this tournament against, I believe it was France. But I'm not so confident that they're going to get a goal. They're just a little lackluster up front. So rather than rely on them scoring, I'll just take over to 3. If we get 3 goals, we push. But I could definitely see this going over 3 here. And that comes in at -125 between Senegal and Iraq. And then my other play here is going to be a late night game here. It's 11 p.m. Eastern in Group G. We're looking at New Zealand and Belgium. We have a similar concept here with this one. Belgium sitting at 2 points in the group. Look, this should be a smash spot for Belgium. New Zealand, they conceded 6 or 5 goals already in just 2 games. One of the worst defenses, in my opinion, here in this entire World Cup. I think Belgium puts it on them here, and they're going to need to boost their goal differential as well in case of any tiebreakers. But a win for Belgium, a convincing win for them, should see them top the group. So I'm going to take another over 3 between New Zealand and Belgium. I just don't think New Zealand is going to have enough defensively to slow down Belgium. And by the way, rumor has it that Jeremy Doku should be in the lineup for this game tonight. His wife did have their baby, so he should be back on the roster, ready to go here for tonight's match, or tomorrow's match, I'm sorry, Friday night between New Zealand and Belgium. So give me New Zealand, Belgium in a shootout over 3 goals here at -140. Stern, any thoughts from you on any of those plays?
No, I'm gonna enjoy watching. I'm gonna also try to find a place to watch maybe a public watch party in Manhattan tonight for the USA Australia match. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. And Drew, let me get your thoughts. Do you have any thoughts on this first? And then I got something else I want to comment on. But Drew, any thoughts on those plays for you?
No, I like them a lot.
Okay, cool. And then I'll get your play here in a second. But something that I wanted to touch on. So yesterday we were talking about Paraguay and Australia, which is happening tonight. I might have to make a slight amendment on my pick. These picks are very fluid, and the reason for that being is yesterday we thought the cutoff line might be at 3 points. Now it looks like it's going to be at 4 points. So if that's the case, you could very well see a very cagey match tonight between Australia and Paraguay, meaning a draw will see both teams go through. It is very likely now, with the way things are setting up, that a draw could see both teams going through. So we'll keep the over 30.5 tackles just because I don't want to back off on that. But I'm also going to play an under in this one. You under 2, under 1.5, play the draw straight up. It looks like the way things are shaking out that a draw is going to be enough for both Australia and Paraguay both to qualify for the knockout round. So something you guys are going to want to pay attention to. We'll see how these early games shake out here in the group stages, as we do have 2 groups finishing up this afternoon before this game starts tonight between Australia and Paraguay. But something to keep in mind there. And if those 2 team groups play out the way we think it is, pay attention to that cutoff line. At 4 points looks like it's going to be enough, then absolutely you're going to want to play a draw between Australia and Paraguay tonight. So just something else to think about there.
Also, I made a mistake. I said Australia. I meant Turkey. USA versus Turkey tonight.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think
the one I meant.
Yeah. We think that could be a fun game. Both teams really nothing to play for, so could be another entertaining game between those 2 teams. But all right, Drew. I know you've been crushing with your plays, dude. 5-0, 6-0, maybe on your World Cup plays. Absolutely outstanding run.
Yeah, I
that
think the
you're on
one I
right
got
now.
wrong was the draw for Norway.
That's right. You did miss that one. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I gave you.
How dare you miss a plus
Yeah.
300?
What's wrong with you? You're supposed to go undefeated, Drew.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. All right. What do you got for us? I hope you have another play for us. What do you got?
Yeah, I do. It's actually a game you just mentioned. I'm using the jawbreaker promo on this. Australia versus Paraguay. Give me, because like you said, both teams are still fighting for their lives. And I know if they both get draw, they need to rely, like on other stuff. But I think by the time, so first, correct me if I'm wrong. Australia, by the time they play tonight, won't they know what has to happen if they can do? They can both they can both draw. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, not necessarily. The way it's working out right now is you have 12 groups, right? So far 3 of those groups have been completed. By the time Paraguay and Australia play tonight, 5 groups will have been completed. But that means there's still another 7 groups, not including their own, that still need to finish up. So we're like halfway there by the time Paraguay and Australia play, but we're not there. I mean, there's still 6 more groups that need to finish. So we're really not going to know. The good thing is, if Australia draws Paraguay, Australia gets second place based on goal differential. So they'll be
Okay.
locked up in second place, which means they will advance. It's your second place team automatically advances. The question is that third place team, who is it going to be? And then what is the cutoff line in terms of the third place teams overall, right? Because the top 8 of the 12 third place teams end up qualifying as well to the knockout stage. So that's where the little bit of uncertainty is right now, I would say.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, for my play, of course, I did some research. Sorry if I pronounced some of these players wrong, but of course I did watch Australia USA game. But I like Australia 3-way money line for the jawbreaker promo at plus 340. I think it's great value. We did see Paraguay beat Turkey 1-0, but they lost Miguel Almiron, a cute player, to suspension. Also, another thing, Australia, something that I even noticed in general. I think there was just overall bad coaching decisions against the U.S. But later on, if you note in the matchup, they improved a lot when they brought in Iracunda and Fopato in the second half. I just think that Australia is the overall better team, and I think they're technically higher ranked as well. So I think to get Australia, especially for a jawbreaker opponent for DK at plus 340, is really good value. I just think they have a better chance, in my opinion, of winning more than Paraguay, especially I just think overall I can trust them more than I can trust Paraguay, especially after that, like I said, that suspension that occurred.
I agree with you. I think losing Miguel Almiron for Paraguay is a big deal. He is one of the better players. He's one of the few players on the roster that actually has some European experience. He played with Newcastle in the Premier League for a few years, so he's definitely one of their better players, and that is going to be a pretty significant loss for Paraguay. And I tend to agree with you. I think Australia probably is slightly the better side in this one, and you're getting them basically at a draw no bet price of, what is it, plus 340? That's a pretty good price considering you get your money back if it's a draw. So I like it. I think that's a pretty solid look. Stern, any
Awesome.
thoughts from you on that one before we move on?
No, not really. I don't
Or
really have
any?
my model pulled up. I'm in the car, but I am excited to watch. It's going to be a very fun game. Can you explain though why they had 3 games per day, then 4 games per day, and now they're having 2 games per slot, 3 or 4 times a day?
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely explain that. So, basically, throughout the group stages so far, the whole point is to get as many games in a day as you can without putting them on at the same time, right? So you had 4 games a day for about the first week and a half, right? Couple weeks maybe through group stage games because that was the most that you could fit in. I mean, they probably could have done 5, but I'm sure there's some TV revenue reasons and some other legality reasons, maybe financial reasons why they didn't do that. But now, why you're seeing teams play at the same time is because in the final group stage, in the final match day, sorry, of the group, you don't want one team to have an advantage over another team in knowing what result they have to give. So, for example, let's say you have a team playing in Group A, and a team A beats Team B. Now, Team C knows because of the result from that game. Team C now knows what they have to do. They're trying to eliminate it. They want games to start simultaneously within the group so that there's no under the table handshake saying, oh, because we already know this result, now we know that we need to get this. The problem is it's kind of backfiring on them because this whole third place thing, that's exactly what's going to happen with this whole top 8 third place team. There is a significant advantage to the teams that are playing later in the day and later in the week because those teams will know exactly what they need to do in order to qualify as one of the best third place teams. So it's a pick your poison type of thing, but typically every World Cup has always been that way. Every tournament, really, even the Euros, you go back to Copa America, whatever it is, they always play when it's a group stage. Your final group stage matches are always played simultaneously, just to avoid any kind of how do I say it? I don't want to curse here, but ishhousery. Hopefully, you pick up what I'm saying there. But Drew, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Something I do definitely know, at least about soccer and sports. But you're absolutely right. They do it for competitive fairness. They also do this for NBA and football for the final game of the season. Like they try to schedule. If you notice the final week of football, they try to schedule it with everyone at the 10 a.m. Pacific, like 1 p.m. Time slot. In NBA, they try to. I don't know if you noticed, like, horse. You saw it this year too. They do it every year, but they try to schedule things around the same time so teams can't like scoreboard or watch and stuff.
Yep,
So what you
100%.
guys are saying, this is a direct result from a bunch of guys in a boardroom deciding things about soccer and sports in general.
So you want to know what's funny? I'll give you guys a quick history lesson. I could be off with my dates a little bit, but those who know will know what I'm talking about. There was a World Cup match. Was it 1970 in the 80s, early 80s? Was it 82 maybe the 82 World Cup? There was a match between Austria and I think Austria, Algeria, and Germany. There were 3 teams that were involved in this. One of the teams was going to go. 2 of them were going to go through. One of them was going to go out. Basically, long story short, one of the games was played ahead of time, and so because of the result of that game, it was like I could be wrong. Those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to say it was Austria and Algeria. They had to play each other, and if they drew, they both were going to qualify, and they knew that because the other game had been played earlier in the day in their group stage, and so they were had an advantage ahead of those teams, knowing what they needed to get in order to qualify for the next round. So there was a competitive, unfair advantage between Algeria and Austria, and guess what they did? They literally knocked the ball around in their own half of the field for 90 minutes. There was no shots on goal. There was no attacking whatsoever. They were booed off the field by both sets of fans because it felt unsportsmanlike. All right, did they do the right thing in terms of what they had to do? Yeah, but it's unsportsmanlike. So ever since then, FIFA has really tried to get rid of that from the sports. They don't want teams having an unfair advantage. They don't want teams knowing what they need to get and manipulating the results based on having an unfair advantage. So that's really the genesis of this whole thing, to be honest with you. So yeah, you don't want unfair advantages in any sports.
I would be unsportsmanlike in the other direction, where I would still try my hardest.
Yeah, yeah, you would think so. You would think so, but when you talk about the World Cup and you got a knockout stage game and on the line, that's your ultimate goal. And when you're these smaller nations, right, is it worth risking? When you guys can both just have a gentleman's handshake, both of you are happy, and both of you
Yeah,
move
that's
through.
fair.
You know what I mean? It's a World Cup. It's a different circumstances. But in any case, yeah, that's the whole point. To answer your question, that's why they do it. So, all right, cool. I guess that's really all we have for the sports
Oh,
picks.
I do have a fact.
Your fact. Yes, sir. What's your fact?
Oh, definitely. My fact is so for the World Cup. By the way, I was curious about the most common game result. for the World Cup, and this was, of course, made before the World Cup started. It's been 1-0 with 182 games. So the fifth of all matches, and the second most common is 2-1. There have been 7 games out of the 52 matches so far this year that finished 1-0, which I believe has been the most common one over the surface here. So 1-0 is the most common, 2-1 is the second most common.
Yeah, that makes sense, and that kind of correlates to. I know Stern asked me a question yesterday. How does the scoring go later on in the tournament? I told him it goes low scoring, so that kind of correlates to that because it does. As more is at stake, teams play more tight, teams play more cagey. They're less willing to give up things to the opponent. So, well, that totally makes sense, and hopefully it doesn't happen this World Cup, but it might. We've seen a lot of goals. We're on a record pace right now. I think a lot of that has to do with the expanded number of games. I think that we're a little bit skewed in our numbers. That's why we're crushing all these records because we've got a lot more games than we've ever had before in the World Cup. But in any case, it is a fun World Cup, and hopefully we continue to see goals. But likely, that goal scoring is going to slow down here as we get farther into the tournament. So, but yeah, great fact, awesome. I love those facts always. All right, we'll just keep it moving here. I guess the final thing we'll cover question of the day. Drew, got anything for us for question of the day?
I can't think of anything as of right now. I don't know if one of you guys did.
Yeah, I got one here. I'm looking on Google. I will just. It's not the greatest question, but well, maybe we can make something out of it. All right. So the question is: would you rather hit a game-winning buzzer beater in basketball or throw the game-winning touchdown in football? Drew, I'll go to you first.
Ooh. And I'm assuming they got both Game 7 of the NBA Finals and then Super
Sure,
Bowl. Yeah.
sure.
Oh.
Super Bowl. Yeah, let's make it apples to apples. Yeah.
That's actually a really good question. I would say probably. I would say probably the. Uh, I would say the game winning. You know what? The game winning buzzer beater. I just think that overall, I know I love football and the environment of football, being able to throw it, touchdown, right? If I was on the Niners, I would definitely say Niners in that case. But I like basketball. This is the environment overall of basketball, in close stadium, you shoot it, and you're on the hard court, and then it's just you're inside, and it just I don't know, I feel like it would feel more amazing and cool if you hit the game winning buzzer beater of the NBA Finals because if you're a quarterback and you're throwing the game-winning touchdowns, oh, I might get nailed and feel it, and then you probably can't even see it if you scored a touchdown. But then you of course will celebrate later. So I think both will be exciting, but I'd probably pick a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because not only as a quarterback, you got to share the spoils there with the receiver because he caught the ball too. So you're sharing the limelight with him a little
Yeah,
bit,
you,
right?
you spoke it to my mind. I didn't want to sound selfish, but I was like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah, no, what the hell? I'd rather get all the credit myself. If I shoot that game-winning shot, that's all on me. They're throwing me up in the air. So, yeah, man, I've hit game-winning shots before too. That's a lot. It's just, there's very few things that are as thrilling as that. So I love it, and
And seeing
for
the
me, it
face
definitely,
of the other side,
yeah,
like you see the
yes,
face more
yes,
because they're not
yes.
wearing
Their
helmets.
head, yeah, yeah, right. That's a good point. Absolutely. And their heads just drop, and you're like, oh man, can't believe I just did that. Yeah, such a great feeling. Stern, I know you play both sports. What are your thoughts? What's your answer for this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go quick because I'm about to enter the Hoboken Holland Tunnel, and I might lose connection. I have to go basketball. No risk of concussions, and you get paid significantly more.
Good answer. Yep, fair enough. Health is always a key factor in in choosing which one you want to do. So cool. All right, cool. All right. So for sake of time here, let's just we'll wrap it up here. Stern might be getting disconnected
Yeah,
here.
let me
Go
recap
ahead
my
and
bets
recap your
right
plays.
before we
Yeah.
go into
Yep.
the tunnel.
Go for it.
All right, I got the Yankees first three money line minus 150 over on Caesars. Phillies minus 1.5, minus 105 over on ESPN / the score. Yankees money line parlay with the Phillies money line half a unit plus 161 and entering the tunnel. See you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, brother. Enjoy your drive. Drew, go ahead and recap your plays, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Zach Allen under 17.5 outs at minus 165 in Australia, three-way money line, plus 340 jawbreaker promo for DK.
Awesome. Love it. And then for me, guys, in the W, we're looking at the Liberty and the Storm under 168.5. We're also going to take the Sparks tempo over 179.5. We're looking at Paige Becker's head-to-head against Jackie Young. We're going to take Paige Becker's minus 2.5 points at minus 108. In baseball, I'm going to take the Yankees minus 1.5 on the run line at plus 109. And then the World Cup for tomorrow, Friday, we're taking Senegal, Iraq over 3 at minus 125. And we're also going to be taking New Zealand, Belgium over 3 at minus 140. That's going to do it for us today, guys. This has been the Only Bet Sports Podcast Thursday edition alongside Drew DeLucchi, Sternbets. I'm the Prince of Picks. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Let's cash out these tickets. We'll be back again tomorrow live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Only Bet Sports Pass. Only Bets Podcast on Twitter. We'll talk to you guys then, and have a great day. Thanks.